Happy Friday, everybody. Nice to see those names up on the screen. If anyone's watching this at a later date or popped in and I don't see your name up there, welcome. If I don't know you, I know everybody who I see on here. I'm Rachel, local physical therapist and Pilates instructor. As usual, we've got a 45-minute flow style class today. We're going to work some balance, some core, some shoulders, some hips, a lot, semantics, right? So basically what I wanted to remind everybody to do is work at a pace that works for you. Go a little slower, a little quicker than I am if you feel like that works better for your body. If there's an exercise that just doesn't feel like it's working for you today, we all know that every day is a new adventure. So be kind to your body, respect it, and listen for modifications. I'll do my best to give a couple when I think there's anything that might be a little bit different as far as a stepwise challenge that we can make. And if none of my modifications work, feel free to put your feet down, close your eyes, and just take a breath through our exercises. The beauty of the flow style class is that we don't do anything for too long of a period of time. So you should be able to catch up real quick once we move on. But let's go ahead and start. We can get ourselves standing up on our mats. I'm going to start my timer as soon as I get back up on my mat. And here we go. We're going to get our feet a little bit wider apart than our shoulders. Let's point our toes out to the sides. We're going to settle our weight back toward our heels. We'll feel our inner thighs working a little. We'll feel our outer thighs working a little. And let's think about pressing our big toes firmly into the floor. Once those big toes are down, let's keep them there and press our pinky toes firmly into the floor as well. That's going to keep our arches a little bit lifted. And from that position, let's take our hands right to our midsection. Press the heels of the hands into the hip bones. Fingertips are going to press together, making a little diamond shape around that navel. And we're going to shift our weight toward the toes and toward the heels. Feel a little bit of activity right between the heels of your hands. As we shift forward and back, we might be able to feel some muscles working right underneath our fingertips, particularly where the pinky and the ring finger are. Draw those muscles gently back towards your spine. Make a nice little seatbelt of muscles to support your back. We're going to shift our weight right back over those heels, soften up our knees, and then let's take a big breath in. We'll reach our arms up overhead. Exhale them out to the sides and then down by the body. Again, let's reach those arms up and overhead. Clasp the palms, press them to the ceiling. And when those elbows are as straight as we can get them, we're going to drop our shoulders down toward the floor. Hold it here for a second. Appreciate that little stretch. If we keep that belly drawn in and the palms reaching toward the ceiling, we should be able to drop our shoulder blades to the floor and elongate a little bit. We're trying to make a little space, a little bit bigger of a space between the wrists, the shoulders, and the bottom of that pelvis. Keeping the belly engaged, we're going to tip ourselves side to side. We'll take some nice side bends. Keep the lower half of the body nice and still. Inhale up, exhale, side bend, pause. Reach those fingertips and those palms up toward the side of the room. We're going to drop the arm on the side we're reaching toward, first down toward our same side foot. And then if we want a little bit more of a length, a little bit more opening from that other side, we're going to reach our fingertips toward the opposite foot. Fingers on the top and fingers on the bottom reach away from each other. Let's inhale up to the top. We'll reclasp those palms. And as we exhale, we'll side bend toward that other top side of the room. Hold it here. Again, we can drop the arm on the side we're reaching toward, first down toward that foot. And then maybe we reach it toward the opposite toes. Top fingers reach away from the bottom fingers. Big breath in, arms come up. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands out, line them up shoulder height. Let's keep that core engaged as we make some little circles on the wall out to either side. Think about taking those collarbones, widening them away from the center of the body. Good, little circles. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take our arms down, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, drop them down toward the hips, and we're now going to line our feet up with our sit bones. Feet are now pointing straight forward, parallel to each other. Our weight's going to be right over the front of our ankle joints. Let's drop those fingertips to the floor, shift the weight toward the toes. Hold it there. We're warming up all those little nerve endings underneath our toes. We're warming up all those muscles that help us figure out where we are in space when we're trying to balance. Hover your heels off the floor if you can. Take it up a little higher. Hold it there. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the weight forward. We'll lower the heels. And let's shift our weight back over the ankle joints. Shake out those knees. We're going to make a quarter turn until we're lengthwise on our mat. And now in preparation for making our way to the floor, we're going to bring ourselves toward the back edge of that mat. Feet are going to be shoulder width apart. Let's take our hands right to a fold in our hips, keeping the knees a little bit soft. We're going to tip that body forward. Crown of the head is coming first up toward the top corner of the room. And then as we proceed to hinge through our hips, the crown of the head is going to reach the wall in front of us. Hands come right to the glutes. Excuse me. Keeping the hand on the glutes, press those fingertips into the muscles right behind those hip bones. And we're going to shift our weight toward our screen and away. And we should feel a little bit of work through those hip muscles as we load our legs. Pushing the weight side to side, we'll get our weight centered right over the front of the ankle joints. Shift for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. We'll take it right back to the middle. Let's take our arms down toward the mat. Arms are going to be vertical. Maybe we can hinge a little bit further forward. Take those shoulders a little closer to the floor. We're going to feel those glutes stay engaged as we row. Bring those shoulder blades together, elbows tucked in by the waist. Release those hands to that vertical position. Squeeze the blades in row. Release. Squeeze. Release. Repeat for 4. For 3. Twice more. Hold those elbows tucked in by the sides. Keep those blades squeezed. Let's press and warm up our triceps. Straighten the elbows. Bend them up. Press and straighten. And bend. Repeat for 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Hold for a breath. Hold this position. As we exhale, we'll bring our hands toward the floor. Bend the knees as much as we need to get them there. And we're going to walk ourselves forward to all fours. Get those knees down. We're going to keep the toes turned under. Press the balls and feet to the floor. If you need more padding, you're welcome to double your mat up or take a rolled up towel. If you have one, place it right underneath the shins. Holding here, we're going to curl to cat. Look toward those thighs. Breastbone stays engaged, drawn up a little bit from the floor, and that belly pulls up to the ceiling. Reverse to cow. Curl to cat. Reverse to cow. Take that pelvis back to neutral and wag your tail side to side, bringing a hip toward the screen and the hip back toward the opposite wall. Repeat for 4. Switch for 3. Here's 2 and 1. Coming right back to neutral. We'll turn the tops of the feet to the floor. Let's take our knees apart from each other and press the bottom back toward the heels. We can slide our arms forward toward the front of the mat. You're welcome to straighten your elbows as best you can. If you need to bend them to put more slack in the system under the arms, that's perfectly fine. We're going to pause with that forehead resting on the floor. Wrap those shoulder blades forward around the body and alternate, bringing one armpit down and then the other. Little wiggle through the trunk. Warm up those muscles in the backs of the rib cage. Wiggle for 4. Switch for 3, for 2, and for 1. We're going to come right back to neutral. Forearms come down to the mat if they're not already there, and let's shift the weight forward over them as we bring our legs back behind the body. We're going to rest on our upper thighs here and draw the belly up and away from the floor. We're pressing our shoulder blades toward the mat. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together behind the back and take another breath in. Breathing out, press the blades toward the floor. Inhale, squeeze the blades together. Exhale, press toward the floor. Squeeze and press for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Take a big breath here with those blades pressed toward the mat. As we exhale, we're going to roll ourselves to our back, bend up our knees, and let the back of the head, the back of the shoulders, and the back of that lower body, the back of the pelvis, rest comfortably on the mat. We're going to take our hands down to the floor, and let's warm up through our pelvic clock position. We're picturing 12 o'clock by the breastbone, 6 by that pubic bone, 3 of 9 o'clock on either side. Let's curl that pubic bone toward the breastbone, shortening to 12 o'clock, flattening the low back. Release and reverse towards 6 o'clock, maybe getting a little bit of an arch. Maybe we lift that back up off the mat. Maybe it stays nice and pressed into the floor. Depends on your range. Curl to 12, reverse to 6. Chin stays knotted toward the neck and that breastbone stays and quiet. Release to 6. One more time, curl to 12, release and reverse to 6. Take that pelvis right back to neutral, and now we're going to rock those hips from 3 o'clock. Take that hip on one side, lift it to the ceiling as the opposite hip presses into the floor. Swing it through the middle and rock to the other side. Rock that pelvis to 3 o'clock and roll it to 9. Repeat for 2 and 1. Take that pelvis back to the middle, big breath in. As we exhale, we keep that core engaged. We're going to picture a bowl of water balanced right between those two hip bones. If you're in neutral, nothing would spill in that water bowl. As we bring a knee up to 90 degrees and bring the other one up to meet it in a tabletop position. Let's picture taking that bowl from our pelvis and placing it on our shins. Those shins stay nice and still as we float our arms to the ceiling. Let's hold it here. We'll reassess our position. Maybe to get a little bit more support for the back, we pull our knees a little closer to our shoulders. Maybe for a little more of a challenge, we come past that 90 degrees and reach those feet a little closer to the wall in front of us. Let's repeat. Let's rock through those positions. A little bit of hip flexion, a little bit of hip extension. Feel what the core does to control that pelvic position as we move our legs in space. Coming right back to that 90-degree mark, we're going to arc our hands toward the wall in front of us and face those palms toward the floor. Maybe we take our hands down to the mat. Little support, big breath in. As we exhale, now we're going to take our hands to the front of our thighs. Press the hands and thighs toward each other, activating that core a little bit more. That pressure from the hands to the thighs and from the thighs back to the hands is going to really get those lower abdominals working. Now we'll wiggle our knees, straighten them toward the ceiling, bend them back to tabletop. Straighten and bend. What I want you to think about is moving through the range where that pelvis stays nice and still. If your hamstrings are limited in length, you may not move very far. We don't have to straighten all the way. Find your limit. Bring those feet together and let's extend our arms toward the wall in front of us. Holding here, we're going to move into our 100 breaths. We're going to pat the air down toward the floor with our hands as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Repeat at a pace that's working for you. Inhaling for 5 pats, exhaling for 5 pats. We're going to keep this going with that trunk staying as still as possible. If we need to take some slack back into the system, we bend our knees. For more support, we add 1 foot on the floor, maybe even both. We're breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Flip those palms over. We're going to press the air to the ceiling. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe it out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe it out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip those palms toward the floor. Pull the knee farthest from the screen all the way into the chest. And keeping that other leg nice and straight. Tighten up that quad. We're going to lengthen our leg out toward the wall. And then down to a hover position. Hover that heel maybe 3 to 6 inches up off the mat. We're going to keep our hip and pelvis still and take that leg side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Reach the toes forward to the wall. Circle this wall on the wall right out in front of us. Stretch the toes. Pause, big breath in. Exhaling, we'll circle the other way. Keep that core engaged. Here's 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Switch them on the exhale. Pull the other knee in. Press that opposite leg forward. Lower to the hover. Keep that stretched foot as far away from our bent knee as we can, and we'll circle. 3, reach those toes to the wall. And 1, inhale. Exhaling, take it the other way. Circle for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold that leg where it is. Hang on behind your thigh of that pulled in leg. And we're going to stretch that bent knee all the way up toward the ceiling. Try to lengthen to the point where you start to feel a stretch through the thigh. We're trying to keep it in the upper part of the leg from knee to sit bone. We can tense that system by adding a little bit of a flex and point. Wiggle that ankle. Hold it there. Draw that hovered leg all the way to the mat. And we're going to take our hands down by our sides as well. The hip bones point to the ceiling like headlights as we take our lifted leg out to the side. Inhale it to the ceiling. Exhale it to the side. Inhale it to the ceiling. Repeat, using those arms for a bit of counterbalance. They're going to help us stabilize that pelvis. 1 more time, out to the side. Inhale to the center. We're going to pull that knee into the chest. Keep that core nice and active as we switch. We're going to lengthen that leg we just stretched out to the hovered position, keeping the belly drawn in. Switch the grip, hang on behind your thigh, and we'll lift that newly stretching leg up toward the ceiling. Flex and point, wiggle that ankle. Good, point those toes, hold it there. Keep the core engaged, lower the hovered leg to the mat, and let's take our arms down by our sides. Press the hands, press the shoulders, press that mid back into the floor, and we'll exhale the leg away from midline. and inhale it to the ceiling. Exhale away. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale away. Inhale back up. One more time. Exhale away. Inhale back up. Let's hang on behind that thigh. Use your hand as a little sling support. Press the thigh into it as we lift the other leg up to meet our lifted leg. Switch the grip. Again, use that hand as a sling, and we'll control our other leg down to the mat. We're going to keep our lifted leg right where it is. Bend it if you need some slack, and we'll take our hands back to the floor. Let's circle that lifted leg on the ceiling, pressing the arms into the mat. Again, pressing the middle back and pressing that sacrum into the floor. Stir that hip in the socket, make those circles. One more time this direction, then we'll pause at the ceiling for a big breath in. As we exhale, let's take it the other way. Circle for 4. Circle for 3. Here's 2. Last one, lift that leg up, hang behind the thigh. Switch up those legs. Reset that core if we need to. We're going to take our hands, press them into the mat. Big breath in. Exhale and circle that lifted leg. Stir the hip in its socket. There's 4. Here's 3. Last 2. And 1. Pause at the top. We'll circle the other way. Remember, again, we could bend our knee. We could make that circle even bigger if we need more of a challenge. Twice more. Last circle. Let's reach that leg to the ceiling. Hang on behind the thigh. Roll your shoulders back and down. Bend the knee if we need to add some more slack in. And we'll hover our supporting leg up off the mat. Keeping the core engaged, let's lift that leg up from the floor. Switch the grip. Float the other one down to hover. Lift, switch and hover. Lift, switch and hover. We're going to repeat here. I've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring those knees into the chest, give them a nice hug, and rock that body side to side. Let's pull everything right back to the center. Giving the knees a hug into the chest, we'll roll our shoulders back and down. Drop the blades to the floor, scoop the belly down and away from your thighs, and we'll place our hands right down by our trunks. Let's bring our knees through tabletop and then straighten them up toward the ceiling. We're shooting for making an L from the toes to the hips and all the way out to the crown of the head. Big breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to take both legs. We're going to circle them in opposite directions of each other. Keep that pelvis as still as you can as we circle our legs. Maybe we make a slightly bigger circle. Maybe we bend the knees and we stir from those knees versus from those feet. You do what works best to keep you engaging the core and keeping the motion in the front of the body as much as possible. Switching directions, we circle. Here's 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Pause, breathe it in, and exhale. Open those legs out to the sides. Take your hands to your inner thighs. We're going to give a little stretch out to that wide V position. Inhale, feet together. Feel those inner thighs working. Exhale, open. Inhale, heels together. Twice more. Exhale, open to V. Inhale, feet together. One more time, open to V. Inhale, feet together. We're going to flex those feet, heels together, toes come apart. Keeping the core engaged, maybe we bring our feet forward toward the top corner of the room where the wall and ceiling meet. Bending the knees, we inhale. Let's bring those heels toward our belly buttons. Exhale, press it forward toward the wall. Inhale to frog. Exhale and press. Take it through a range that's working. If we can't press all the way through to the wall, little pulses are fine. You don't have to straighten those knees all the way. We're working core stability. Press for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Turn those toes parallel to each other. Hug the knees into the chest and rock that body side to side. Coming right back to the center. We'll release those knees just a touch. Let your sacrum rest into the floor. We'll draw the belly down and scoop those legs right back up to our tabletop position. Let's take one hand to the ceiling. Let's take the other one to the ceiling. Big breath in. As we breathe out, that arm closest to the screen comes back and we press our opposite leg forward. Inhale to the center, exhale and switch. Inhale to center, exhale, press. The farther out we can stretch that leg, the closer we get it to the floor, the more leverage we have on that core. If you are in control and want to challenge it as much as you can, we get that heel as close to the mat as we can. If we need more support, that heel reaches closer to where the wall and ceiling meet. Switch them off for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring them right back to tabletop, holding here, inhale. Now as we exhale, that hand closest to the screen is going to press into the far thigh. Press the hand and thigh toward each other. Our free arm and leg are now going to move. Take a big breath in. Exhale, arm and leg come away. Inhale to tabletop. Same side, exhale and press. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale and press. Inhale to tabletop. One more time on this side, exhale, press. Inhale to tabletop. We're going to keep those knees right where they are. Scoop the belly down. Switching up the hands. That arm closest to the screen comes right back up to the ceiling. The opposite hand's going to press into the thigh closest to our screen. Breathing in and exhale. Let's take those free arm and legs away from each other. Inhale back to the screen, to the ceiling rather. Exhale and open. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale and press. Inhale to the ceiling. One more time, exhale and press. Inhale to the ceiling. Let's hug those knees in. Relax that back, relax that core, and draw those bodies side to side. Rock through a little massage along that mat. Take it side to side for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it back to the middle. Let's bring our hands down to the mat by our sides. Keeping the knees bent, we'll take our heels down, lining them up with our sit bones. Let's curl through our pelvic clock, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Big breath in as we curl to 12. Big breath out as we release to 6. One more time. Inhale to 12. Exhale to 6. We'll take it back to neutral. Big breath in. And as we breathe out, press those heels to the floor and lift to bridge. Inhale at the top and exhale, lower down. Repeat at your own pace. We're pressing through, lifting our hips up to a position where we can still keep our core nice and active, that trunk nice and neutral, and get a nice length through the front of the thighs. Lift and lower. If you press those arms into the mat, we almost get a little bit of traction through the back. Our lats help pull the upper body away from those glutes. Let's hold up in our bridge position, press the arms into the floor. Keeping the hips lifted, we're going to take our heels up and down for 8, 7. Try to keep those hips as still as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels come down, pulse the hips to the ceiling. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. On the exhale, we're going to control those hips and pelvises down to the mat, releasing the glutes at the bottom. Rock the knees toward the screen and away. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring those knees right back to the ceiling. Regroup with a big breath in. Belly to spine on the exhale, press back up into bridge. Keep those toes and those heels pressed into the floor as we take our knees out to the sides and then back to the center. Keep those hips lifted. Exhale to the sides. Inhale to the center. Exhale and open. Inhale and center. One more time with both legs. Exhale and open. Inhale and center. Hips stay nice and level. One knee comes out and back to the center. And the opposite knee comes out and back to the center. Keep it going. There's 4. Switch for 3. Keep going for 2. And 1. Take them back to the middle. Big breath in. Exhale, control that body down to the mat, releasing the glutes at the bottom. And again, we rock those knees side to side. There's 4. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Take them right back to the center. Big breath in. As we exhale, draw the belly down. Press those heels into the floor. Find the height. Find as high as you can lift those hips without losing that neutral spine. We should feel our stretch in front. We're going to hold here. Let's move through a march. One knee comes toward tabletop and back down. And then the other knee comes through tabletop and back down. Keep this going. If you need a slight step down, that still works your weight shift. We can lift one heel and take it down. And then the other with those toes staying on the floor. This still encourages that load transfer from side to side. Here's 4. Here's 3. Last 2, good job. 1 more, press the heels down, big breath in. Breathing out, we lower that body down to the mat. Releasing the glutes at the bottom, we'll rock our knees toward the screen and away. Let's take a couple big, really big breaths in and really big breaths out. How much air can you fill your lungs with? How much air can you expel? Good. Let's bring those knees back to the ceiling. We're going to take the ankle closest to the screen, cross it over the opposite knee. Keeping the pelvis nice and squared off to the ceiling. Maybe we can lift into figure 4. If it's a struggle to keep stability through the pelvis, I want that heel staying on the mat. We just gently press out on our supporting leg. Maybe we rock our body away from the cross-legged side as we take a big breath. Exhale, hold. Breathe it back into the center. Take the feet down, unwind them. Opposite ankle crosses to that near knee. We keep that pelvis square. See if we can lift toward figure 4. And then let's rock away from our cross leg, which we can still do even if that foot's on the mat. Hold for a breath. Hold as we exhale. 1 more time, big breath in. Exhale, let's take it right back to the center. Unwinding the legs, we'll give them 1 hug into the chest. Let's take our feet to the floor and take our hands, heels of the hands right to those hip bones. We're gonna rest our elbows on the mat. Let's walk our feet out. Get them as straight, get those knees as straight as you can, keeping a neutral pelvis. Picture that bowl balanced on it with the water in the middle. We're gonna keep our hands where they are. Take a big breath in. Breathing out, nod the chin toward the neck. Drop your breastbone down. Feel your lowest ribs come down and also toward each other. We're keeping that upper abdominal area active. We're gonna keep the belly drawn toward the spine. And let's lift 1 foot up and down. And then the other. Our big goal here is to keep that pelvis nice and still. If you feel like you're doing so, we're using our hands for feedback. We could take our arms to the ceiling and maybe even think about taking our arms back overhead, reaching toward the wall behind. We'll walk them out. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach those feet to the floor. Stretch the hands and feet as far away from each other as we can. Big breath in. Exhale the arms out to the sides, bring them down by the trunk. We're gonna bend up our knees and make our way over to hands and knees. All right, once we're there, decide if you need that extra padding, double your mat over or get your rolled up towel. We're gonna line up the wrists and shoulders, line up the knees and hips, and let's curl through cat and reverse to cow. Again, curl to cat, reverse to cow. Take it to neutral, wag your tail side to side. Let's take that pelvis back to neutral. We want to picture a straight line from the back of the head to just between those shoulder blades to just above that sacrum right below the waistline. We're going to hold here. Let's extend the leg closest to the screen back and the opposite arm in front. Switch through to the other side. Bird dog reaches. Keep that going at a pace that's working for you. We're going to switch them off. Here's 4. Switch them for 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold that leg back. Switch the arms. Bring the hand down, shift and reach. Leg stay still, shift the arms. Leg stay still, shift the arm. Leg stay still, shift and hold. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down, knees come down. Opposite leg extends back, opposite arm front. Shift toward the screen, switch the arms, and reach. Shift the arms, and reach. Switch, and reach. Switch, and reach. Let's keep that leg where it is. Take our hand down. Take the leg down. We curl to cat and reverse to cow. Coming right back to the center. Let's keep that core engaged and we'll squeeze our shoulder blades together behind the back and then press them toward the floor. Elbows are stand straight. Squeeze and press. Squeeze and press. Squeeze and press. Squeeze and press. Keep it going or move to single arm. Squeeze and press. Squeeze and press. 2 more here. Squeeze and press, switch up those hands if we've been in single arm. If we're in double arm, we keep working with those double arms. We have 4. Squeeze and press for 3. Squeeze and press for 2. Last one, take that hand down. We're staying on hands and knees. We're gonna open the arm closest to the screen out to the side. Follow it up to the ceiling. Rotate that breastbone toward the screen. Sweep the hand down, opposite arm reaches out. Breastbone toward the other wall. Bring the hand down, switch the arms. Bring the hand down, switch the arms. Let's take our hands back down. We'll curl to cat and reverse to cow. One more time, curl and reverse. Coming right back to the middle. That core stays engaged as we tap one hand to the opposite shoulder. Take it back down, switch it up and tap. Alternate through at a speed that works for you. If we want to make this more challenging on our core, on our shoulders, we open up those hips toward the mat, move into a plank on the knees. Try to control that tendency toward pelvic rotation. Belly stays pulled toward the spine, shoulder blades press forward. Tap them for 4, for 3, for 2. Good job. Last one. Hands come down. Let's press ourselves back up to hands and knees. We're going to bring our forearms down to the floor. Let's hold here. We'll re-engage the belly. We'll press our blades to the floor. Let's take that knee closest to the screen. Keep it bent as we take the leg up and down. Press it up, bring it down. Press and lower. Press and hold. Hamstring curls. Straighten and bend that knee. Heel to the bottom. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse that heel to the ceiling. Squeeze the glute. There's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Float the knee back down. Keep that core engaged. Switch it up. Press the knee up. Float it back down. Press it up. Float it down. Press and lower. Press and hold. Hamstring curls. Straighten and bend that knee. Straighten and bend. Here's 2. Keep that thigh lifted. Bend to 90. Pulse to the ceiling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll float that knee down. Feet come together, knees come apart. Press the bottom back to the heels. We start here with our elbows bent. We'll start with them right up at our knees. Drop that forehead down. Let's walk our hands forward a bit. Walk them forward as far as you're comfortable doing so. Maybe we can straighten our elbows out. We're going to wrap our shoulder blades forward around the front of the body toward the mat. And let's walk our hands toward our screen. We'll pause, hand over hand, take a breath. Exhaling, walk them over to the other side. Again, big breath in. Exhale, walk the hands back to the center. And let's take a seat on our mat. We're lengthwise on that mat. Our knees are going to be bent. We're going to hold on behind our thighs like we're holding a nice round beach ball. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down a couple times. And let's angle that body back a bit. We're going to try to see if we can feel that core working. I want you to make sure you're supporting your thighs enough that you don't feel any strain in your back. And we'll come up onto the balls of the feet. So heels are lifted. Keep the belly drawn away from the thighs. And let's see if we can take our hands out to a nice narrow V. I do want you to feel your core engage. If you're not feeling much, lean back a touch. Find the point where you can feel this working, but you don't feel your back engaged. We're going to hold it there. Let's rock our knees toward one arm and toward the other. We're rotating a little bit through the lower half of the body. Rock them side to side. There's 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. Come right back to the middle. We're going to take the feet to the floor. Heels come down now. We're a little more upright. We're going to take our hands and press them into the outsides of our thighs. Press the hands and thighs toward each other. Keep the core engaged. And again, we're going to lean back. This time, we're going to straighten our elbows out a bit. Use that engagement through the hands and the thighs to offset your trunk a little. Let's open the hand on the screen side. Take it out. Take it back to the center. Press into that thigh. Switch it up. You should feel your side muscles working right in front, right between the ribs and the pelvis. Open the arm. Take it back to the center. One more time on each. Open the arm. Take it back to that knee. Open the arm. Take it back to the knee. We're going to pull ourselves up nice and tall. Roll through a little bit of pelvic tilting, a little cat-cow, however you want to think about that curling and releasing position. We'll come up nice and tall. We're going to take our hands back behind the body. Fingertips can face the heels, or they can be pointed out to the sides. I want you to straighten your elbows out as best you can. If they can't go straight, I want you to bring them in a little closer to your bottom. Squeeze your blades. We can add a little tension into the system if you like by bringing the elbows, the heels, the hands back rather. And let's see if we can inch that bottom forward just a touch. We want to keep the blades squeezed and keep those elbows straight. Let's send our breastbone toward the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Breathe it out. We have 2 more breaths here. We can stay here with that bottom on the floor, or we could lift to our reverse tabletop. Again, big breath in. Breathe it out. One more time, big breath in. Exhaling, we're going to take that bottom down. We shake our wrists out. And we're going to turn and face our screen up in a tall kneel. Again, pat up those knees as much as you need to. We're going to take our hands right to the fold in the hips. And let's take one leg and extend it out to the side. Our straight leg is that the foot's going to be slightly in front of our other knee. So my knee is about 8 inches away from the front of my mat. My toe is about 2 inches away from the front of my mat. Hold it there. Drop into a squared off hip position. Feel that hip open up, that inner thigh open up. And we're going to hinge the body forward. Bring that trunk down parallel to the floor or as close as we can get. We'll inhale up tall. Exhale and hinge. Inhale up tall. One more time. Exhale and hinge. Inhale up tall. We're going to float the arms out to the side. Take a big breath here and side bend toward that bent knee. Inhale up, side bend the other way. Inhale up, exhale and side bend. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. We're going to pause here. Maybe we take that leg and lift it up and down. Also toward the ceiling. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come up tall, side bend toward that straight leg. Let's bring our hands right to our hips. We're going to switch it up to the other side. Extend that leg out, forward toward the front of the mat, drop into the squared off hip position. Big breath in. Breathing out, hinge the body forward. And inhale up tall. Exhale, hinge. Inhale up. One more time, exhale, hinge that body forward. Feel that inner thigh open up. Take it up tall, inhale the arms out, and exhale, side bend toward that bent knee. Inhale up, exhale, opposite direction. Inhale up, exhale, and side bend. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. Hold it there. See if we can pulse that leg. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come up tall. We'll side bend toward that straight leg one more time. Let's come through our tall kneeling position and we'll make our way down onto our side. Rest on that bottom side. Knees are bent up, heels line up with that rear end. We're going to lift our waistline from the floor. Feel those muscles tighten. Top hand presses into the floor. Let's bring our knees up and down. Feel those oblique muscles working. Press your top hand into the floor for a little counter rotation. Knees come down, clamshell lift for 4, for 3, for 2. Hold it up there for 1. Lift the toes, lower the toes. Lift the toes and lower. Last 2. Hold them up there. Straighten and bend the knees. Keep that waistline lifted as best you can. Top hand can absolutely be providing some support on the floor. Straighten and bend. Toes come down, feet come down. Fire hydrant lifts for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it back to hip height. We're going to straighten our knees out. Bottom or top leg rather spins forward and back. Forward and back. Twice more. Forward and back. Let's take the top toes down and up. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the bottom leg up. Hold them there. Take them down and up for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring them down. Bend up those knees. Give that hip a pat. Let's take it up and over to the other side. We're almost there. That bottom side's going to feel like it's working still. As we reset, knees are forward, heels line up with our rear end. Press the top hand into the mat, lift the knees for 4, for 3, for 2, For 1, knees come down, clamshell lifts for 4. For 3. For 2. Hold them up there for 1. Lift the toes and lower. Lift and lower. Twice more. Hold them up there. Press that top hand into the mat. If we need the support, straighten and bend the knees. Here's 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. Toes come together. Knees come down. Toes come down. Fire hydrants for 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Back to hip height with that knee. Straighten the legs out. Swing that top leg forward and back. Forward and back. Last 2. Last 1. Take it back. Take it up and down. Lift and lower. Last 2. Last 1. Just above hip height. Bottom leg comes up to meet the top leg. Take them down and up. There's 4. 3. 2. Hold it up there. Big breath in. Exhaling, we'll take our feet down. Bend at those knees. Pat out that hip. Let's turn onto our backs. We're going to give those knees a nice hug into the chest. Rock everything side to side. Let's take our feet down. We're going to turn ourselves over to hands and knees. And let's curl to cat. Whew, get rid of those sleeves. Reverse to cat. One more time, curl. And reverse. Taking it back to neutral, we'll turn our toes under. Walk yourself back, shifting the weight over those feet. Once the weight's over those ankle joints, we're going to come up nice and tall and shake those legs out. Come into the center of the mat. We're going to face our screen. We'll finish up with balancing. If you do need something to hold on to that's stable, go ahead and move yourself. Bring your mat to the stable surface or bring something to you to hold on to. We're going to re-engage the belly to spine, keeping the weight over the front of those ankles. Let's take our hands to our hips and we're going to shift our weight from foot to foot. Let's pause with our weight shifted over one foot, right over the middle, front of that ankle. And we're going to bring our other foot forward. We're going to stand heel to toe. Find your balance point. Look over one shoulder and look over the other. Look right to the center. Maybe we look up. Let's look forward. Shift to the back leg. We're going to rise up onto our toe, or onto our single leg. Shift the weight forward. I got ahead of myself. Now we'll take it up and down. Maybe a weight shift is all we need. Challenge that weight shift. Hold your balance. Hold 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. Take that foot down. Shake out that supporting leg. We'll bring it right in front of the other. Stand heel to toe. Turn your head. Look forward. Look up. And look forward. Shift toward that back leg. Find your balance point. Shift the weight forward. Maybe we take it up and down. Twice more. Good. Let's hold our balance. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We did it. Let's take those feet apart. Shake out the knees. Take the arms down. Shake out the wrists. Roll those shoulders back and down. There's 3, 2, and 1. And let's take our feet together. We're going to close with a big breath in. Reach those palms together. Stretch the fingertips to the ceiling. Exhaling, we'll bring our hands into our center. Thank you guys, as always, for showing up and doing the work, kicking butt and taking names. And let's do it all again next time.